Did you know that there are more than 400 different types of sharks roaming around our world's oceans? And that the biggest fish in the sea is a shark. It grows to over 40 feet in length and has more than 3,000 teeth. And guess what? It's totally harmless. The biggest of them all, the whale shark. They can grow to a whopping 14 or 15 meters, well over 40 feet long. They also have around 300 teeth, but there's no need to worry. These gentle giants of the world's tropical oceans live on nothing more than plankton and tiny fish.
They have a close relative called the basking shark. It's not as pretty to look at, but the basking shark is also huge. That giant mouth can filter about 2,000 tons of water through its gills every hour.
Without a doubt, one of the strangest looking of all the sharks is the hammerhead.
It has a large flattened head with its eyes right on the edges of this anvil shape. There are lots of theories about why this particular shark has evolved in this way. It's likely the shape acts like a hydrofoil, giving the shark incredible maneuverability.
Not only that, the head is covered with sensors that allow it to detect prey with incredible accuracy.
There are two main types of hammerhead shark. The scalloped hammerhead, which is often seen in large, impressive schools in places like Cocos off Costa Rica and the Galapagos Islands. Then there's the great hammerhead, which can grow to 6 meters. That's nearly 20 feet.
These are much more solitary creatures and are even found here in the Bahamas. Some scientists reckon, far from being prehistoric, the hammerhead may be the most developed of all the sharks.
Here's some more amazing facts. More people are killed by coconuts falling from trees, even struck by lightning. In fact, more people are actually bitten by other people than bitten by sharks.
But you know the worst statistic of all? Over 100 million sharks are killed each year by people just so that they can eat shark fin soup.
You know, that's about 10,000 sharks killed every hour. This needs to be stopped. The shark finning is just deplorable. It's very upsetting when I see this footage of people cutting off fins and throwing these animals back in the water. You know, they pull these live sharks up onto a deck of a boat and cut their fins off while they're still alive and toss them back. It's such a waste, and it's so cruel.
Just to leave them helpless to die on the bottom of the ocean is just beyond belief that humans could be capable of that.
We have to remember, if we remove the apex predator, the top predator of the marine ecosystems, the marine ecosystem could collapse as a whole. If we don't do something soon to save our sharks, we're not going to be able to enjoy diving with them here in the Bahamas or anywhere in the world. Sharks are critical to the health of the marine ecosystem. We have to do everything we can to save them.
Many years back, where a longline vessel came out and actually killed many of our sharks on the dive. There was such a public outcry over the situation that there was actually protests in the streets, and the governments agreed that no longline fishing would be allowed and no licenses would be issued. And so if we hadn't had that shark dive, there would have really been no awareness or care about whether a few sharks got killed.
What people can do is any restaurant, Chinese restaurant or restaurant that serves shark fin soup, you know, don't go to that restaurant. Go to another restaurant. Send them a message, hey, this is unacceptable. We're not going to spend our hard-earned money here at this restaurant because you're doing something that's horrible.
Most people will never come into contact with a shark their entire life. But if you're a diver, the species you're most likely to encounter is the more common reef shark.
In the scientific world, they're also known as requiem sharks. It's a strange kind of name for this family of sharks since the original meaning of requiem is all about mourning the dead.
Don't worry, because here in the Bahamas we're lucky enough to have a very healthy population of Caribbean reef sharks, and they definitely prefer fish to people. If you watch carefully, you can see that the sharks know exactly where the food is, and they can tell the difference between our divers and the food. This is thanks to the incredible senses they employ. Everything from sight and sound, to smell, to the tiny electrical fields created by injured and dying fish.
When a shark picks up these signals, it can move like lightning through the water. Then it's a case of the strongest winds. Like this nurse shark, which actually came off best against a Caribbean reef shark.
Here at Stuart Coves, we're lucky enough to see this shark behavior up close. Our sharks are really the classic shape everyone expects a shark to look like.
In other parts of the world, there are some very similar sharks which are closely related, such as the gray reef shark and the black-tipped reef shark. We've worked with these animals for many years now, and we've still got all of our limbs. Here's some basic tips about diving with our sharks.
Sharks are used to their prey trying to escape. If you stand your ground and remain calm, the shark may approach you very closely to check you out. But this shows the shark you're not afraid, and it quickly learns that it's probably best not to try to bite you. One thing to avoid, unless you know exactly what you're doing, is to try to grab hold of a shark. You could be in for a nasty surprise.
All being well, you'll learn to appreciate the value of the shark to our beautiful coral reefs. They play a vital role in keeping the habitat in check, ensuring that only the strongest survive.
If we were to take the shark out of the equation, the effects would be disastrous. There would be an explosion of populations of smaller fish, and this in turn would lead to a food crisis and eventually the collapse of the local ecosystem.
So you see, sharks are crucial to life in the sea. The beauty is that they're perfect killing machines.
But sharks only take what they need. They don't just kill for the sake of it.
And thanks to hundreds of different kinds of sharks all around the world, our oceans are kept healthy and sustainable.
The only threat to this delicate balance of nature is man. And it's everybody's responsibility to do his or her part to protect arguably the greatest predator on Earth.
You know, after watching this DVD, I'm done with shark fin soup. I mean, it's just plain cruel.
Don't know about you, but I'm almost tempted to become a vegetarian. On second thought, life as a shark in the Bahamas isn't so bad after all.